Welcome to Ask Rabbit Entitled Parents, where Karen tries to get a girl arrested because she's taking her own medicine. I have some awesome stories for you today. Let's get right into it. This first post is titled, Mama Karen wanted me to turn off my TV when her family walks by my apartment because her kid is grounded. I just moved into an apartment last week. So far, everyone I have met in passing has been nice. No one has been too loud at unreasonable hours, arguing with each other, stealing parking spaces, and other typical shared space craziness. Yet, at least. Only been here a week. I did, however, encounter a Mama Karen and her 6-ish-year-old son. My apartment is one of those half-in-the-ground units with 2 other floors on top. As such, the top of my patio wall is level with the walking path. If I have my blinds open, you can easily see into my living room and kitchen. This honestly doesn't bother me. The weather is finally really nice here, so after work yesterday, I opened my patio sliding door and blinds to let the cooler air in while playing some Minecraft. After a while, I could hear a couple of women talking outside a few units down, just general chit-chat. I also heard a smaller kid running around, messing with the gravel along the pathways and just generally being a bored kid while mommy talked with her friend. Really, no big deal at all. Then it happened. I heard one of the women call for the kid. Jason? Jason? Jason! Get over here! Jason! I looked up to see the kid standing on the path next to my unit transfixed on the TV. Uh-oh. He didn't answer quick enough. Mama Karen came stomping over to him and jerked his arm to force him to look at her while she yelled in his face about answering her and to not watch TV, especially someone else's. I thought the way she was acting was overkill, but let it be. He's not my kid, and I'm not a parent at all. Just my 2 fur babies, 2 cats. I did pay attention for if things got worse to jump in, but didn't stare. I only looked over when she called out to me to apologize for her son. Note, not for her behavior. I said it was fine. Mama Karen took him back over to her friend, and they continued talking. Eventually, the kid started playing around near them again. Soon, he was back over at my patio, looking in, watching me play. Soon after that, I hear Mama Karen yell at him again. This time, he flinched. Hard. It broke my heart to see, and was just frozen staring at her. This time, I jumped up and went to my patio door. She was already at him by then and yelling at him again. I tried to interject to say I truly didn't mind that he was watching me play. This is where the Karen aspect comes in. She turned to me, sickly sweet, the demon gone for a moment, and kindly explained that dear Jason was grounded and not allowed to even look at a TV. I said, bummer dude, to him in sympathy. She didn't like that I addressed him and not her. I also don't think she liked that I showed him sympathy instead of instantly taking her side, even though I had no idea why he was punished in the first place. I wouldn't doubt if it was some asinine, non-existent reason on her part or her being bothered by normal child behavior. She then asked me something that blew my mind. Can you please shut off your TV when we're out here? We're usually out here for some outside time for about an hour a day. Or you can just shut your windows and blinds. The people pleaser I've been raised to be almost said, oh sure, no problem, and was going to do it. Then I stopped myself thinking, what? Telling me what to do in my house? I'm trying to have a shinier spine. I told her no, I won't. Oh boy. That sure is her trigger word. I thought she was going to reach in and jerk me around and yell at me like I was her child. The look was so instantly pissed off. She again explained the situation, fully expecting me to cooperate this time. She laid out her case. She made the demand again. Not a faux question this time. I again told her no. I came home to relax, and this is how I do it. She asked me if I have kids. Uh-oh. I'm solidly child-free, and according to the laws of parenting, my thoughts and opinions are completely and instantly invalid unless I pop out at least one entirely, mostly full-term crotch spawn. I told her no, and she smirked. I thought so. I was ready for a lecture on how to handle kids properly or something, but she just jerked her son away, back towards the other woman, who I assumed was still there. She said something as she went, but I didn't really hear it, so I don't know if it was to me, her son, or her friend. Maybe even grumbling to herself. I hadn't seen those 2 before yesterday, but apparently they're out there for at least 1 hour daily around that time. There's a pool, a few barbecue pits, and a grassy area outside my unit in between the surrounding units and buildings. I get to see all the good doggos walk by, and it makes my day. I really hope she doesn't cause issues for me. I just want to live here and not be bothered. I'm not going to help parent her child. No one else in this whole world should be accepted to accept her. I just don't get how she thinks she can ask a total stranger to turn off the TV in their home because she's punishing her child in hers. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. I'm proud of myself for standing my ground, as brief as the encounter was. I worry for the kid, though. And here's an update. So a small development. I called CPS. I thought about it a lot since posting yesterday. I even consulted a few people I know who have been on both sides, reporting and being reported. After telling them the story and hearing their experiences and advice, I decided to go ahead and do it. What really did it for me was that while the kid may have done something to earn the grounding, and maybe the mom had a really bad millennia that exploded in that moment, her physically jerking him around, yelling in his face, and especially his reactions pushed me to do it for his benefit. I did it anonymously and don't know which exact unit she's in. I was kind of surprised that I talked to an actual person. At first, she kind of had the tone of just taking a general complaint. As soon as I explained the kid's reactions, especially being completely nonverbal when being yelled at and shook, she took more interest. I was warned that this call didn't guarantee an investigation. Also, that it could take some time to start and even more time to conclude depending on various factors. Me not knowing the exact unit number being one of them. Hopefully, I won't have to update again at all, or that it will be sometime and with good news. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that first story. Before we get into the next couple of stories, if you guys could please do me a huge favor and hit that like button down below and make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss any future content. Alright, this next post is titled, Yesterday, I tried to keep some kids safe on a mountain bike trail. Then, the mom threatened to knock me flat. I was out at my local mountain bike trail center yesterday. It was a Sunday, dry, nice day. Lots of families out. There's a run maybe about 30 meters consisting of 4 or 5 berms, tight turns with high banks, and then a jump. It's a really good jump for practicing on, so I'm doing a little loops here. There was a woman standing on top of the first berm, 30 meters away from the jump. This is mildly important information. Taking pictures and not actually watching the mountain bikes coming towards her. This is a super dangerous place to be. If someone comes in wide on the berm or slides over the crest, they're taking her down with them. She's not technically in my way though, so I just kind of think, your funeral, and get on with my riding. I do a few loops on this little stretch, and then after maybe 4, there's a toddler, basically as young as I've ever seen someone ride a bike without training wheels, whatever age that is, and maybe 6-year-old just kind of frolicking on top of the jump. I yell, "Move out of the way!" a few times. They don't. I swerve off the trail, come to a stop, double back, and tell them, in a tone I would describe as very stern, but not scolding, that hanging out, not moving in the middle of high-speed mountain bike trail is not only dangerous for me, but extremely dangerous for themselves. At this point, Berm Lady is jogging over, screaming, not yelling, screaming, "Do not talk to my children like that!" So I tell her, or attempt to, she's just repeating or screaming at me at this point, that I wouldn't have to talk to her children if she had been keeping them safe, or had taught them how to stay safe in what is an inherently dangerous environment. At this point, she says, "I'll knock you flat." At which point I tell her I will defend myself if she attempts to touch me or my bicycle in any way. She then plays the victim and says, "I can't believe you'd hit a woman." And I say, "I can't believe you'd threaten me." For reasons I still don't really understand, at this point, I begin again trying to explain how dangerous her child's behavior was, not just for me, but for themselves, but she keeps shouting, "Who do you think you are?" I then tell her what my name is, but she cuts me off with, "I don't care who you are." So I asked her, "Then why the heck do you keep asking?" She then demanded I apologize to her daughter for swearing, and I told her she'd lost the right to ask me to do anything and expect me to accommodate when she threatened me. She repeats her demands, and over her nonstop screaming, I attempt to tell her that I promise hearing me say a swear word is a lot less dangerous to her toddler than being mowed down by a mountain bike. I swear to God, something about having children that aren't old enough for a parent to have grown to resent just a little bit turns people into bloody psychos. Alright, this next post is titled, Entitled Mom Tries to Get Me Arrested for Taking My ADHD Medicine. For context, I have ADHD. I take legally prescribed medicine for it, and if I forget to take it in the morning, I have a couple of doses in a pill bottle from an old fill in my car. It's important to take these daily, as it works better the more days I take it in a row, similar to some antidepressants. Each fill costs about $60 to $70, and I keep about 1/4 of the fill in my emergency stash. So, it's the weekend and I have plans to meet some friends at a local coffee shop. We have masks, outside seating, and sanitizer at the ready. This so happens to be a day where I forget to take my medicine. We order our drinks and snacks, and after I put our order down at the table, I tell my friends I need to go take my meds. I go to my car and grab the bottle to bring back as I left my drink with my buddies. I get back, and as I pop the pill into my mouth and take a sip, a wild Karen appears. No haircut, but a 5 or 6-year-old kid in tow. She slaps the open pill bottle off the table and starts screaming about how I shouldn't do drugs, yada yada yada. She demands I apologize to her son for being such a bad influence and doing such sinful things in public. I try to explain that they are not narcotics, but medicine for my ADHD. Then she phones the police. The police arrive and they get our stories. After getting witnesses, the police ask me for proof that they were my meds, which I provide. At this point, Karen is starting to sweat. She realizes she screwed up and is now trying to backtrack out of the situation. The police ask me if I would like to press charges as the meds in the bottle are now ruined. I say no, as I'm not about to spend court costs over $15. Karen is dealt with and we leave, one story to tell richer. Alright, that's going to wrap up today's Entitled Parents video. I hope you guys enjoyed those 3 stories today. If you did, do me a huge favor and hit that like button down below. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss any future content. And leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought of the stories today. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time.